Hello Tubers, this is Robert 28, 1979. As y'all guys can see, I've got the steering put back together on this thing. I didn't change much on it, just cleaned it all up basically. Put a new, instead of a brass bushing in the gear down there, I knocked it out and I actually found a piece of EMT, electric metallic tubing, that fit in the gear real nice, and it went over that shaft. So kind of basically a new bushing, re-greased everything, cleaned it all up. Started putting the front end back on here. I'm going back to the original spots, original mount spots here, versus the ones that they made. There's no sense in extending that hood that far. I am eliminating the oil filter off this thing. That's the main reason they extended this, in my assumption, was so that would fit and the whole 9 yards. And when I come here, you see a little yellow line there. There's no one on this side here. Yeah, link point right there. I'm going to put a plate across on the inside here. I'm going to put a plate across it. That's that tank's going to sit on. And they come off with some strips on the sides here to mount the cooler to. I did order another fan. Be the second fan I've bought off of eBay. But as you can tell, I don't have a shaft. So what I'm going to end up doing is taking that pulley off right here and seeing what I can come up with, make myself. I've got plate and I've got some rod and stuff, and I may see about just building my own little shaft to come off to mount the fan on for the cooler and be done with that. I am going to change this setup here, take this long bolt out. I'll show you what I'm going to do there. Is I've got this right here. Yeah, it's still going to be a little bit floppily loose, but I'm going to put a washer on it. I'm going to cut this bracket off underneath this bolt hole, drill a new hole into it. It's just big enough for this to fit through, and that's how my throttle is going to hook up. Because this is not the original motor for this K646. I kind of ran the numbers on it, on the motor, and it did come back to an 09 gen set, which was probably used in an RV, you know, one of them big, huge suckers. But anyway, the 09 gen sets, they did not taper their shafts on theirs, as were like a generator like this. The motors have tapered shafts, so you can't use them for nothing. Unless you do like I did, which I'll show you that here in a minute. But that's more or less where I'm at here. You see the exhaust, I got the nipple sticking up there, plugged all that up. And no, that's not a hole, that's just a hex Allen wrench plug came out of a block. I believe it came out of a Chevrolet 350 block. Fit right in that, so I welded a washer to it and it fit right in that washer and welded it all up. And I didn't just drill through the top skin, I drilled through the center pipe, lowered this down into that center pipe, tacked it, and then trimmed it best I could, and then welded it solid. So I'm sure it's going to be a little louder than what it was. I don't care, y'all seen this, the 222, you can't get much louder than that, so. But, yeah, oh man. Boy, it's like 70 degrees outside, my nose is running, my eyes are itchy, oh my goodness. But, yeah, I'll show y'all guys here, move the hood a little bit. I still got about the same amount of slop in the steering. And a lot of that has to do with, you can see, let me zoom you in here. It's going to get really shaky because the zoom, I just shake too damn much anyway. There's just a little bit of movement there. Yeah, set you on my knee there. And I'll sit down for this one here. But you can see that that one there. There don't seem to be too much play in that one. Of course, the hood keeps falling down. But you get up here, got just a little bit of play. Got a little bit of play in this kingpin here, but that right there in that gear, I still got all kind of play. And it's only because that gear there has wore down that pin on the bottom side pretty good, so I am going to have to replace that pin eventually. I was going to do that here, but I need to put this thing back together. I've got to move it out of here and I got to use it. It's going to cost me about $450 to have all these cylinders re-rotted, new packings, new seals. Which this one I was telling about, the camera will focus, kind of hard. But it's got some small fittings in there. They're not real bad. It does have a little bit of scarring, but not real bad. I mean, that one up there, y'all seen in the previous video, it's got some real bad fitting. But I did notice at least have this right here, so I'm able to take all that apart and tighten it up. Because you can see here, it's lost all the pressure. I mean, it starts getting pressure right about there now. And I had this thing sucked all the way down tight as I can get it. But with that, and my kids messed with the lever, I took the stand out from underneath it. And you can see right here, it went down so far and I stopped it and pushed it back up. Because my kids were right here and messed with this lever and doing this number and turned all the pressure off. So, fun part is when I get done with all this, which I'm going to get all this done today. In fact, I'm fixing to drain the oil out of the cooler in the reservoir into that can there. Take the zip ties that are holding it on and start mocking all this stuff up and making my brackets and getting this done. And then put my oil back in. And then I gotta go pick up some more oil because that reservoir's only got maybe that much in the bottom of it, you know. I'm gonna say probably that much, if any. So I need to fill her back up. Oh man. And I see I get underneath it and see about trying to seal those leaks up down there. And then later on when I get more time, probably here midsummer or something, I'll start patching these holes up in the hood and all that other stuff. And reconciliation of my previous video, I did get on the internet, did some searching, did some closer looking at 646s, and I found 3 other pictures of case 646s with scoops on the hoods. So that I guess that is factory. So it's telling me that is probably the original hood, which this thing used to be that red and bright yellow, but somebody else painted it. And you can see the orange coming through. It looks like orange more than it did red, but you see it come through everywhere. Footrest down there. They did kind of a crummy job on the paint job, but you know, they did what they could do. And I'm going to eventually take that fender off, straighten it up, probably plug all them damn holes up on it. Don't know what they were for. Haven't a clue. There's no holes on the top, so I don't think this thing ever had a cab. Which that will be something I will be building and put on here. Is a ROP system, the rollover protection system. And I'll probably base it off the footrest here, if I can, or maybe come up with another bracket underneath, make sure it's stiff. Mount here, come up, curve back up, curve around, and come back down behind the seat or something, I don't know. So I even thought about putting a cab on it, but the problem with the cab is I'm actually located the backhoe attachment for one of these, the 646 backhoe attachment. And that they're wanting $2,700 alone just for that backhoe attachment. And as everybody knows, I only gave $1,300 cash for this thing complete. So, but I have also found a 646 Series B, which is the backhoe series, complete 100%. The guy on his listing may need motor rebuilt, but last time I talked to him, he said the motor needed to be rebuilt. And these tires all around, they're rotted off. It's going to need hydraulic hoses from front to back. It's going to need a seat. You know, it's going to need a lot of work. And I'm sure all the cylinders on that one's going to be pitted as well. Well, I say that this one was in Ohio. This one I bought in Ohio. And of course, everybody knows the salting and stuff up there. Just since all the green crap all over the tires is from trees, from sitting under trees. This one is actually down in New Mexico, so which is about a 7-hour drive from where I'm at, where it sits. But then again, it's under a bunch of trees. So, but they don't have the salt that they got in Ohio, which I'm surprised this thing ain't rusted all to heck and back, you know. But anywho, that's pretty much where I'm at on this thing right at the moment. I'm fixing to do some rewiring on the ignition switch. You know, just simply because I don't much care for the speaker wire ignition system that's on here. I'm gonna do it right. I've got Dill over there with zoom bell in there. Rolls of wire there. I'm gonna rewire it. I've got more wire over here on this bench, so I am going to rewire this thing. It'll be pretty simple. It's just basically 2 wires there and a wire coming off to go to the coil, which has been hacked up back in here, and I fix that. But I'm going to do that. And then, like I said, I'm going to get this thing started back up, put the breather back on it and all the other good jazz, clean it up, start it up, get all of it put together and get it out of here. So, and what I may end up doing, instead of doing a restoration on this like I was wanting to, I found a couple other ones that are closer by. Like I said, one's got the backhoe attachment, but that gentleman, with it being rotted tires, no seat, motor needs to be rebuilt, God knows what else is wrong with it, he won't come off of, you know, $4 grand really. He's asking $39.50 for it now, but I figure I'll wait long enough because it'll sit there long enough, because these things are not very popular down here. We've got what we call a termite, which is basically the same thing as this with a backhoe on it, but it's a little bit bigger. So that's why, and then, you know, Kubota tractors are really big down here. They're popping up everywhere now, so these little things like this running down this area, just like I said, ain't popular. Nobody really wants them, you know. Which is good for me, is when they start popping up, I'll start trying to pick them up if I can, and maybe I'll, depending on whether that guy comes off his price any, I may see about buying the other one. And then I found a couple more over in the Oklahoma area that I'm kind of, they're not advertised for sale. I know where they're located, and I'm trying to get into contact with the owners of them. One of them has been contacted already and is supposed to let me know on it, and then the other one I'm still trying to get a hold of the people who have it on their property. So I might end up with 2, 3, or 4, or maybe even 5 or 6 of these things. Who knows? And along the way, I'll find one that's a better candidate to do a restoration project on. And it's kind of, eventually, like I said, eventually my boys are going to take this one over anyhow. It's going to just be the workhorse, the beater up. And I'll find one with a backhoe attachment on it to be a workhorse. And then the other ones I'll just kind of maybe restore 1 or 2. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. You never know what the future holds, so I can't just start planning on stuff that may not happen. But anyway, that's just an update on the case. 646. I did another video, as y'all seen. There's the K646 decal video for Bill's T-Max. He actually responded back, sent me a message on it, and told me he didn't have the brown decal. or brown vinyl. I'm not wanting brown. I mean, granted, that is the new, and if y'all see, you can tell this is not made for this. You know, because it tapers here. The original ones were black, were cut for this angle here, and angled down. These are pretty much, as I can tell, original, because you can see the old one underneath the paint there. Had the strap around it as well. But I'm going to try to get back in contact with him. I sent him a couple messages and he hadn't responded yet, but you know, I'm sure he's pretty busy. So I want to get these done, and I want to get for the front of this and the back, on the back of the seat, the old original, you know, you got the case logo like this right here, but it's cut out here at the top and the bottoms of each letter. That's what I want to get. I want to get one for the front and one for the back. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I got to get busy on the stuff and got company coming. So if you ain't subscribed, subscribe, rate my videos, comment, give me a thumbs up if you like it. And there's another gentleman who messaged me on my last video. He's got a 444 that he built a front end loader for it. I mean, that thing just looks like it's, in my opinion, I think he overloaded that thing. That thing is, looks like it'll pick up some massive weight, but I don't know if the rest of the tractor could handle it. You know, one of the advice I was going to have to him is upgrade his spindles to the bearing style spindles like this has got, and that should be able to help you out a little bit more. But I'll do another video segment on something like that for him or whatever, and kind of go from there. But like I said, if you ain't subscribed, subscribe, rate my videos, comment, like, and we'll see y'all guys in the next one. So until then, have a good one.